Hello and welcome back to Doctors That Cook. I am Dr. Cheryl Rue, everyday doctor. I'm going to cook up something for you today. Today we're going to make black bean, mango, and roasted corn salad. Oh, my favorite ingredients that keep you healthy. So first we have to roast the corn. And to roast the corn, and I'm actually following a recipe because there's nothing wrong with following a recipe. That's a good thing. And since I am a scientist, I'm used to following directions. So in order to roast the corn, you're going to put a teaspoon of oil in a pan. Okay, you heat up your oil. And let's let that heat a little bit. And then we're going to heat up some, I'm going to change from the spatula to a spoon. That's probably better. We're going to let that heat a little bit. And then we're going to put some garlic. Now, I like using fresh garlic. I usually buy the frozen garlic where they freeze the cloves. And you take them out, you let them thaw on their own, and then you mince them and chop them up. That's a lot better than that garlic in the jar. Because that jar garlic, you know, it turns yellow, and I think garlic is usually white, not yellow. But once we heat that up, we're going to put in our corn. What's a good corn I like, I don't really care for canned corn. Because you know what, they add high fructose corn syrup and it just seems unnaturally. So I like fresh frozen corn. So this is from a little market called Trader Joe's, which is I like. Organic corn works best. And they also have a pre-roasted corn, so you can use a little bit of that. So I tend to use a mixture of both. And I'll put my garlic in here because this is nice and hot. So you let your garlic simmer a little bit there so you get that aroma. Smells good. Smells like an Italian kitchen, but we're not doing Italian today. You want your garlic to kind of get a little brown before you put in the corn. Okay? Then I'm going to put in some corn. Use about a cup. I use a little bit of both. Just enough. You know, because corn is good. People, you know, talk bad about corn, but corn is a good vegetable. It's nice and sweet and takes about 8 minutes to roast corn. So you everything has to dry up, and so we're gonna let this keep sauteing here for about 8 minutes it takes. All right, now take a look at that beautiful roasted corn. Doesn't that look good? And you can use this on anything. Sometimes I put in a little garlic, a little butter with it as well. Add it to the oil and the garlic. You know, if I'm going to use it in another type of a food or stuff it in. But this time we're going to eat it cold. So I'm going to turn off the fire and I'm just going to move it over. And many times I let this cool down a little bit. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to our station here. This is the bowl where we're going to mix everything in. So we put in the corn and our ingredients here. We also have our fresh fruit and vegetable bar. So what do we want to pick from this? Over here today, what we're going to use in this dish is lime. And limes, you know, you always want to rub your lime to get it nice and juicy so it gets nice and soft. And we're going to use 2 limes. So limes are good, you know, to add to this dish because they bring that kind of salsa and spice up the mango that we're going to put in the salad. It also helps to spice up and bring out the flavor in the onion. So lime is good not just for margaritas, it's good for food. Lime is vitamin C, so anytime you can have a lime or lemon in your dish, that's always a plus. What we use in this dish are black beans, and canned black beans are good. I opened this from the wrong side up, so I'm going to show you that one. So I use a plain black bean, and I also like a Cuban style black bean because these are already flavored. These black beans are naturally from Trader Joe's, so they have very little sodium. When you get canned goods, you always have to watch the amount of salt content. Don't those look good? These you can eat straight just like this, right out of the can, or you can warm them up a little bit if you want to eat them hot like a soup. And the other thing in this ingredient, I'm sorry, I was talking about sodium for a minute there. So sodium, we know that we need less than 2,400 grams of sodium per day. And if you already have high blood pressure or you're African American, then that number goes down to 1,500 grams. So you try to get as much sodium in natural foods, and that's okay. So as long as we're not adding too much. So we know in this dish, our beans already, because they came from a can, have some sodium. So we have to be gentle in the amount that we add to the food. The other thing we like to put in this dish is mango. Now fresh mango is always the best, and here we have some mango that I bought at the store already sliced up, and I just chopped it into a cube kind of a thing. And mango you add, mango's real sweet, it's good for you, it's just a good fruit to have. And anytime we can add fruit to a dish, that's always a plus. The other things that we grabbed from our fresh fruit selection is red bell pepper. And as you know, onion is one of my favorite foods because it has anti-cancer properties. And this is a white onion. Chopped them up before so you wouldn't see me crying and get all ugly on the camera, because you know that doesn't look good. And I always have to look the part. So you put a little bit of onion into that dish. That helps to spice it up a little bit. And then the last thing we like is cilantro. Cilantro is a good herb seasoning, and this is fresh cilantro, which I already cut it up, so we put a little bit of that in there. That just brings out the brilliance. Doesn't that look beautiful? Just in and of itself. What do we talk about? That food needs to look good, it needs to smell good in order for us to be satisfied, in order for us to like it and feel full. Because it's not just about our stomachs feeling full, it's about our brain feeling satisfied, it's about our nose feeling that we smelled enough good things. All of that takes part into being healthy. I forgot another one of my ingredients, chipotle peppers. I like things a little spicy. I tend to put in 2 or 3. That's a nice big one. Alrighty, so I'm going to take this and put into my dish as well. Oh, that already looks so good in there, doesn't it? And you just keep stirring it up and making sure everything mixes together. Something to add, which is Beano. How many of you have heard of Beano? Well, Beano works well when you're eating beans and peas, particularly black beans, red beans, and rice. So don't be ashamed to use that because it does help your GI tract. Alright, so now let's put in a little bit of our corn. It still smells so good and so flavorful. Yeah, and it's cooled down a little bit, so now it's not so steamy. I don't think it's going to cook my onions, which is what I was afraid of. And so we're going to put this all and blend it here. So next, a couple shows that we're going to have, like I said, I'm going to invite some folks to join me. And those folks will be other physicians, doctors that cook or have their specialty dishes that they want to bring along. Or, you know, just thinking today, just talking in the back studio, and sometimes I'll have some patients to cook because if they've learned anything about healthy cooking, you know, we want them to be able to show what they can do. I think that would be a great idea. We always want to applaud people when they're doing the right things, you know what I mean? Because cooks come in all, you know, backgrounds. We can have nutritionists, we can have podiatrists, all kinds of folks that we can have. There you go. And here we go. We have a roasted corn, black beans, and mango salad. It smells good, it looks good, it's hearty for you. It can go with anything from chicken, it can go with tacos, it can go with a steak, or you can just get some lettuce and put lettuce on a plate and just pile just a little bit right on top of the lettuce. Whatever it takes, this will make a great dish. It has been a pleasure being with you tonight. Doctors That Cook. Keep following us and keep liking us because I like to be liked.